Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be my coverage for the Winter War tournament. You guys should have seen the 3 bout reports I had before, and well, I'm yapping about this stuff, about what I thought of the tournament, how I did, my list, all the stuff like that. You're going to see some pictures of some of the other armies, and wait to the very end where you actually get to see an actual Book of Grudges. Anyway, looking at how I did, I go into these always trying to win more than I lose. But this one actually became kind of hard to define because, like I kind of mentioned in those, what do you go by? The victory points, whether you get the primary, the points overall. But I think given this tournament, you really have to look at the points overall, and with that, that would mean that I won 2 games and lost 1 game, which means I won more than I lost, and that's nice. But overall, I still felt a little bit disappointed with how I went, especially when you look at the primaries, where I only made 1 out of the 3. So it just doesn't feel that fulfilling, really, when you look at it. Otherwise, the way that my army was put together, the level 4 Great Savage Shaman, I really tried the Lodestone here for the first time, and for the most part, I kind of like it. It was nice having a 3+ ward against the death magic, but then, of course, whenever it came up, I even failed it. But you know what? It could be a nice thing to have there. But something else I would like even more is where I just put on the Fencer Blades, and then he can be in the front with the Blackworks, and then I don't need to worry about me having an animosity type thing. So, it's a nice build, but it's just not the type of build I like overall. The whole thing with all the heroes and the Fencer Blade and all that stuff, they were actually a little bit disappointing. They didn't really do anything for me. But then again, 2 out of 3 armies were the whole avoidance type armies, so they didn't really get to do their thing. And then the one time where I did get the fight, I just could not get to them fast enough. So I like the build, but overall, like I said, I like Fencer Blades better on the level 4, and some great weapon guy with the Dragon Bane gem would have been pretty nice. 40 Savage Biggins, always great. My Spear Knight Goblins, great. The Bunker, great. The 5 Wolf Riders with Banner, fantastic. The Black Orcs, love them, especially with that Banner Swiftness. The Mangler, I'm still not a fan of the Mangler. Even though in this game here, or this tournament, it was never the thing where somebody just like threw an eagle on him and that's it, or a saber tusk. They just, I'm sure in one game they killed the Glade Rider unit. In another game, they killed a chariot, but it's just too random, and it's just not really something I like. I know what it can do for you, but I'm going to talk about here in a second about what else it could have been. And of course, like the Rock Lava's Doom Divers, those are a must. Now, I think the best way to take this list is next I have to talk about the actual tournament. Now, the primaries was something where in the very beginning, when I was looking back at it, I was actually a little bit frustrated about it because, when you have something where you have to kill all the characters, I completely understand where the tournament organizer is coming from, where, go, 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 and it's all about characters and killing characters. But when you have people that play the avoidance game or the ethereal game, well, I can completely see where what do you really do, right? You're going to you just lose, right? You just really go into a game knowing you have to lose because you can't hit that primary. Now, looking after that, the whole idea where maybe you could look at it this way. If everybody were to look at it and say, well, everybody knew this coming in, so if everybody is smart so that nobody ever really gets killed, so everyone gets the same points, it all evens out. However, that's just not the way it really works, right? Plus, I really wish it didn't say you lost or you won. Just that whole thing, like I said, about being fulfilled or not about with that tournament, I wish it said primary. If you get this done, you get 8 points. If not, you get whatever. That would have been a lot better in my opinion. But, yeah, it's just something a little bit weird there. Of course, the part there after we had the stuff for breaking fortitude, actually winning, That's pretty important. But the huge one that I did not realize was going to be the biggest thing was the tertiary. And that was the actually going out and capturing objectives. And with that, or sorry, not objectives, terrain pieces. And that turned out to be a massive factor because the people who, because I thought it was like 2 points, right, or something like that, but no, it could be as many as you had terrain pieces there. So people go out with a bunch of fast cav, run around, capture all this terrain, and it's like bam, 6 points, and that turned out to be a lot more massive than what you were seeing the points you were getting for the primary or secondary. And it was just, wow, really looking back at my list, I really wish I would have taken out that Mangler and I would have had another fast cav unit with a banner or dropping something else, right? And getting more units of fast cav with banner because those just go directly into points, right? Run off to a corner, capture that forest or hill or whatever, bam, I get points. So definitely something there. We're looking back. I guess I just did not really understand the system, but I could have built a list a little bit better for it. Going into that then with the tournament, I mean, I gotta say, it was a really great tournament. The place I went to, the Century Box in Calgary, wow, that is an amazing store. It is huge. They sell everything. I actually picked up like the con, like the special Wolf Rider character for Orcs and Goblins, so I'm looking forward to painting that guy up. But wow, they just had everything there. They had decorations all over. So some parts looked like World War II battle scene. Other parts looked like Egypt. Other parts like, wow, it was just really nice. The TO brought his really good terrain. People there had really nice armies. I mean, look at the first guy I played there, right? That Lisbon army, that was just crazy. But overall, I mean, stuff was really good. The 3 people I played I'd never faced before, so that's always really good. And they're all pretty much fun games. Turned out the guy that I played in the second game, he has a little bit of a grudge against me because of the shot hammer, but we'll leave that for another time. But I really think the biggest thing I'd love to see here with this is the mission really changing so that avoidance doesn't win you games or doesn't lose it for the opponent. Because it was just one of the things that came up in the table behind me is, of course, in the first game you were trying to kill all the characters, and it's meeting engagement. And he had one of his special characters or characters started in reserve, and he said, "Well, I guess I'll just win then, or he'll just lose, because I'll just choose to bring him in at the last turn or never, and you just won't kill that character." And the guy had to quickly say, like, "Oh, okay, no, all the characters have to come in." And it's just one of those things where, unfortunately, you have an idea, and I totally relate to this as a tournament organizer, where you go into this and you build a scenario, and you think, this is the way it's actually going to run. And then you actually do it in practice, and it turns out, no, that doesn't run like that whatsoever. People find loopholes, and it kind of breaks down the system. So that was kind of too bad. But as well, like I said, it's just like a little psychological thing, right? If it just was said primary, worth this many points, this is what you have to do, that's whatever. But instead, it said, like, you win, you lose, whatever, right? So all of a sudden there, it's like, well, you're walking into a game, you know you're going to lose, that's air quotes there, and it just kind of hurts. But either way, there you go. It was a fun tournament. I hope you guys like watching, and there's more tournaments coming up. So we'll catch you later. And please, down below, if you want to comment about the tournament, my army, whatever, please let me know. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.